everyone! I am going to be opening up this package that I just got in the mail. It's from Becca, and she sent me her beautiful Tula Pink quilt that she was doing with a bunch of other creators on YouTube. So if you haven't watched any of those videos, go over onto our YouTube, and I believe Ian and Teresa and Tiffany were also doing a fun Tula Pink challenge quilt. So I'm really excited to get into this and see what it looks like and kind of play around with thread color and pantographs and all that jazz. So already opening it up, I can see some fun mineral peeking through, and that is just making me excited. Line work is one of my favorite Tula Pink collections, so I am so excited and honored to be quilting this for Becca. Thank you for sending it my way and trusting me with your baby. Oh my goodness. Look. Oh, look at this. I'm telling you, being a Longarmer is like Christmas. I get to open up packages and see beautiful quilts like this, and this is just Tula magic happening right now. So here is what it looks like. Oh my gosh, look at these colors. Look at the black and how all of those true colors just pop off on there. Oh my gosh, I absolutely love this pattern. This is the Kaleidoscope of Stars pattern. You can find it on Etsy. I will enter the link to the pattern on the bio, so if you want to purchase this, definitely do it. I've made this pattern several times. It's quick, it's layer cake friendly, and it always looks really good, especially when it's done in all Tula. You can see all of those famous, like the zebra, the skunk print, all of those are seen throughout the linework collection, so this is a really cute backing. Let's go play with some thread and see what colors we're thinking. Okay, so I've taken it out of the box, I've opened it up, and I now have it laying on my frame. This helps me look at the quilt a little bit, get a sense for the colors, and then now I'm going to go start pulling thread. Now this is kind of tricky because there is a lot of black on here, so you know, gray would be the safe choice. That would be the obvious bet if you wanted it to blend in and kind of, you know, not be the star of the show. But I kind of want to have fun with it. Becca gave me some freedom here, and if it were my quilt, I would put a little bit of color in there. I'm leaning towards some purples and some pinks. I do have some neon, but that might be a little bit too much. So I'm going to go pull some, and we're going to lay it out on the quilt and see what that looks like. All right, let's go do it. So here are the ones that I've pulled, just based off the colors of the quilt and kind of what I think is going to look really nice. Although it is pretty dark in a lot of these prints and you've got a lot of this black, there's also a lot of lighter prints that if you were to go too dark on your thread color, it would just be too busy and you wouldn't let, you know, the magic of the Tula happen. It would kind of get overpowered. So I don't want to do that. I do want to have color, but I don't want to have too much. So here is the first one I kind of pulled. It's like this perfect tango color from Glide, and it matches this color pretty well on here. There's not a lot of this color on here, but that'd be a great way to kind of let that shine a little bit more. I did pull out this color kind of based on the blues that I've seen in this quilt and in these prints, and it's called Magic Mint. And then I also kind of looked at the greens in the quilt, and I went with Sea Foam because I think that would look really nice. It's some color, but it's not too dark. And then moving on to the pink, of course there's a lot of pink in a Tula Pink quilt. This is the pink rose color. That would look really nice on a lot of these. Great way to add color, but it's not too dark. This is probably the second darkest one that I chose. This one is one of my favorites I use in a lot of quilts. And just based off the purples in here, wow, that would just be beautiful in this quilt. So that is a really great contender. And then here's kind of a lighter option to that, and it is the Peacock, and kind of based it on these pinky purples in the quilt. So it's kind of hard to tell, but they all blend in really well. And so the next step would be, of course, unraveling some of this thread and laying it on different portions of the quilt. What is that thread going to look like on the background, and what is it going to look like on these prints and the star points? That is what the tango looks like. Trying to get this in focus and follow and kind of show you, oh, that's kind of what it's going to look like overall. Here is that magic mint. And then here's my personal favorite. I think the sea foam is gonna actually be really fun on here. And honestly, before I laid it out on the quilt, I was kind of leaning towards this color because it's dark, but it blends in so well. Some of these, like this light peacock and this pink rose, are too light and it will kind of look more white than a colored thread. And I really want the color to kind of pop off a little bit more. So, you know, given the creative freedom that Becca has given me, thank you, I'm gonna go with the sea foam. And I'm also gonna grab the backing and double check to make sure that that's gonna look good on the backing as well before I really start, you know, loading up my bobbins and start getting this ready. Let's go get the backing. All right, I've turned the machine on just to see if a little bit of better lighting will help this. And this is really just going to be the winner for me because not only is it going to look really fun and bring some additional color to the top, but it's going to match and blend into the background perfectly. You can see that these little, you know, stripes going back and forth, they're already kind of green, and so this is going to blend in really well and just kind of match it. And I think that's going to be the winner. So the next step is putting all of those back and putting them away, and then I'm going to give this a nice little iron. I always like to iron quilts before I put them on, even if they've sent them to me and they are ironed and pristine. You know, when you ship them, you kind of get these little folds in them, and so I like to just go over once more before I start quilting and make sure that it's super flat. And so I'm gonna get that going, and then I'm just gonna let it do some time lapse of me ironing and getting it prepped, and then we'll go into talking about like design choice and kind of what I'm thinking. I will give you a hint. It's gonna be inspired by this print, and I also have a pantograph that is inspired by this print. So these two right here are kind of on my mind as I'm prepping this quilt. So here we go. Let's go get it done. So one of the fun designs on her fabric is this really cute skunk design, and I've come across this on Urban Elements before, and it is just so stinking cute, and it looks almost exactly identical to what the design is on that fabric. Do you see that adorable skunk? So that is an option, and then another option that came to mind based on the fabric was, let's see, they changed this website to prostitcher.com, and so I haven't really been on here since then to buy anything, but Oyster came to mind. Oyster is such a beautiful print. It looks exactly like that mineral. Look at what that looks like on this quilt. Oh my goodness, look at that texture. And it would mimic that mineral print in her fabric, and so although I think that the skunk is so cute and I'm just waiting for the perfect Tula quilt to come my way for it, I am concerned that it's not going to show up. You're not going to see the skunk. The fabric is so busy, you know, and there's only little bits of background to where that skunk is not going to really be seen unless you're looking for it. And although it's so cute, like I said, this just isn't the quilt for it. So if you have a Tula quilt that you want me to put this skunk on, let me know in the comments and send it my way, because I am just like dying to use this adorable little skunk. How perfect does that match that line work fabric of Tula's? So I think what we're gonna do is I think we're gonna go for the oyster. You know, it's just gonna add so much texture, and I think it's gonna really pop on that black background. So I got it loaded on the frame. I got everything set up in the Pro Stitcher, and it is doing the first row. If you can't hear that, that's it stitching out this really fun design on this quilt. I freaking love how it's looking. So let me show you what it looks like. Alright, we are on the very last portion of the very last row, and this is probably one of my favorite parts because I'm about to cut the quilt off the frame. And that is always super fun to just take it off the frame, see the whole thing in its entirety, and kind of see how it all looks when it's all done. So we're going to take it off tonight, but I'm not going to get pictures or like videos of it outside until tomorrow because it's about bedtime for the kids and we got to go get them in bed. But yeah, I'm super excited for her to see this one, and I hope she loves it. Alright, it's all done. Time to cut it off the frame. Alright, that's a wrap. Her quilt is all packaged up and ready to go. It should be there very soon. If you have any quilts that you'd like to send my way, go to my website at goodygoods.com and hit the little book my quilt button. Thanks for watching. Bye!